Yes, my friends, the Philadelphia Eagles officially won their second consecutive NFC East championship for the first time since the early 2000s, a feat not seen since Andy Reid's team achieved it in 2003 and 2004. And they did it in true NFC East style, in a fierce and intense battle against the Washington Commanders, which ended with punches flying and playoff spots secured. Man, I'm so happy with the team's performance. Thank you, Howie Roseman, for making the Eagles experience this unforgettable moment. If you're also grateful, write this: thank you for everything, Howie. Go Eagles! Let's win another Super Bowl. Man, I confess that at the beginning of the game, I had butterflies in my stomach, but in the end, everything worked out. The Eagles built a late lead, winning 29-18. A result that crowned them division champions, secured a playoff spot, and, perhaps most importantly, gave the team something it desperately needed: confidence and identity. For the first time in weeks, the Eagles seem to be themselves again. This is the third consecutive game in which the offense has not only shown itself to be modern and efficient, but also capable of building explosive sequences. The defense, which has been demonstrating dominance, once again showed that it can be the foundation of a long playoff run. It neutralized Washington's offense for most of the game, allowing only one touchdown late in the game when the game was already decided. And with the NFL playoffs approaching, the Eagles seem to be finally reaching their peak. This win wasn't just about stats, although there were plenty of them. It was about establishing a physical identity. Saquon Barkley ripped off explosive runs, including a jaw-dropping touchdown with elite contact balance, and Tank Bigsby followed that with a dagger score that set the tone. Philadelphia's offensive line wore down Washington, opening up the ground game and allowing Jalen Hurts to operate with more space and confidence. Hurts, who had been the center of concern after a 5-turnover disaster against the Chargers weeks ago, delivered an efficient and mistake-free performance. He finished 22 of 30 for 185 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a passer rating of 111.1, and once again, it was his legs and decision-making in RPOs that created key mismatches. And then there's Saquon. He passed the 1,000-yard mark for the season in this game, a huge milestone in what's been an up-and-down year for him. A.J. Brown, closing in on 1,000 receiving yards himself, showed why he's still one of the most dominant WR1s in the league, while Devonta Smith is also within reach of the same mark. Dallas Goedert added his 10th touchdown of the season on a crucial third-and-goal play that showcased Hurts's awareness and precision. That grab tied Pete Retzlaff for the most touchdowns in a season by a tight end in franchise history. And with 2 games left, Goedert has a real shot to break it. This team, which looked mentally drained and offensively disjointed just weeks ago, now appears mentally locked in. The penalties have dropped, the offensive execution is clean. The confidence is rising, and when the Eagles' run game hits this kind of stride, they've rushed for over 100 yards in 6 of their last 8 games, including over 200 in this one. It becomes the engine of an offense that is nearly impossible to stop. Credit has to go to the coaching staff. Offensive adjustments have been crucial. The scheme has modernized. There's more motion, more misdirection, and better utilization of skill players like Bigsby and Barkley. Kevin Patullo deserves recognition for how he's involved multiple backs and how play action and RPOs have been designed to mask tendencies. This isn't the same stale offense that stumbled through the mid-season. This version is creative, fluid, and most importantly, functional. Defensively, the growth has been just as important. Jordan Davis is playing the best football of his career. 4.5 sacks on the season, he's become a complete player. Not just a run-stuffer, but a force in the backfield, blowing up plays, handling double teams, and stepping up in Jalen Carter's absence. In this game alone, he had 6 tackles and 2 tackles for loss. Vic Fangio's defense, particularly the secondary, has been suffocating. If they continue to improve against the run, and there are signs of that, this group is built to carry the team in January. The game wasn't without concern. Jake Elliott, now dubiously nicknamed Jake Missy Elliott on the show, missed 2 field goals officially, 3 if you count the one negated by a penalty. Since last season, Elliott has gone just 5 of 15 from 50-plus yards, and he's hit only 71% of his kicks this year. the worst mark of his career. That's a massive red flag for a playoff-bound team. In tight postseason games where every point matters, the kicker can't be a liability. The coaching staff may need to bring in kickers for workouts this week, not necessarily to replace Elliott, but to apply pressure and perhaps preserve his mental game by carrying a practice squad option. Special teams overall had a rough night. Will Shipley's fumble on the opening kickoff gave Washington an early 3 points. Combine that with Elliott's missed kicks, and that's 9 points given away. In the playoffs, that's often the difference between moving on and going home. But despite those errors, the resilience of this group shined through. 3 players were ejected in a brawl after Bigsby's touchdown, and Barkley's 2-point conversion, including Tyler Steen for the Eagles. That moment, intense as it was, symbolized this team's fight. Steen took on nearly the entire Commanders' defensive front and left the field to daps from Howie Roseman. This is a locker room that's united, that's believing, and that's willing to scrap for each other. Jalen Hurts also made history. He's now the first quarterback in NFL history to clinch 4 straight playoff berths with 4 different offensive coordinators. That stat alone is a testament to his adaptability and leadership. Meanwhile, Nick Sirianni, with this win, moved into a tie with Greasy Neal for second all-time in franchise wins. His record now stands at 58-25, good for a 69.9% winning percentage, second only to Andy Reid. This win also snapped a 20-year streak in the NFC East, where no team had won the division in back-to-back years. The Eagles just broke that curse. Since 2000, they've now claimed 12 NFC East titles, more than the Cowboys, 7, Giants, 4, and Commanders, 3. That's dominance, that's legacy, and that's the result of a franchise built on smart front office decisions, elite player development, and a culture of accountability and toughness. With the Bills and Josh Allen looming in Week 17, the Eagles face a high-stakes litmus test. They're pretty much locked into the number 3 seed, but momentum matters. Winning out could set them up perfectly to storm into the playoffs with belief and rhythm. They've scored 60 points over the last 2 games. The offense is firing. The defense is surging. The energy is real. So, Eagles fans, here's the question. With everything you've seen from this team in the last few weeks, do you believe this squad is peaking at the right time for a Super Bowl run? And let's not forget the emotional weight behind all of this. After a turbulent mid-season stretch where fans questioned the identity of this team, where turnovers piled up, offensive stagnation became the norm, and questions began swirling about whether this team had lost its edge, the Eagles responded. They've done more than just win games. They've reestablished who they are. They've rediscovered the formula that made them champions. The physical dominance up front, the dual-threat dynamism of Jalen Hurts, the relentless aggression on defense, and a mentality that says, we'll outwork and outfight you for 60 minutes. That's what this team is showing now. Now the question is, how far can this team go when January football begins? What do you think, Eagles fans? Is this team ready to make another Super Bowl run? Let us know in the comments below.